Hi, my name's Corey Mayo, licensed realtor with Monument Sotheby's, and welcome to Who's in the House, your podcast for everything coastal Delaware. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. That way you're updated every time I upload new podcasts or videos. And if at any time you have questions, feel free to email us at info@who'sinthehouse.de as in Delaware.com. You can also call or text 302-466-5511. Now sit back and enjoy this episode of Who's in the House. This is part of when you're in cause you're 100% commission, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference of being in a 100% commission job. Is it's like
people don't understand it.
Yeah, you're never off. You're on 24/7. When I'm overseas and I'm still still working.
Here's the thing, because only the people that are in the business understand the temperament of the customer.
Yeah, dude.
If you don't answer,
give them an inch.
Somebody else will.
They're going someone else.
If you don't answer, somebody else will.
Yep.
And only people that are in the business respect when you take an hour, 3 hours, 24 hours to get back to them. Hey, I could literally be tied up with a customer till 9 o'clock. I know my hours say I close at 7. You text me at 1. What if I had 3 appointments?
Yeah.
One was long in the tooth and it's 9 o'clock and I'm just getting home to my child and my wife, and I didn't respond until 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock that morning, and you're just like, oh, sorry, I already bought, or sorry, I'm going a different direction, didn't hear from you. Holy shit.
Yeah. Or you found out that they called another person on the sales floor.
Yeah, like plenty of times.
Like you're like, I didn't want to lose out on the deal.
Yeah, I couldn't.
I figured you were probably too busy, and I don't want to and I just didn't want to take a chance of losing out on the deal.
Yep.
And you're like, oh my god.
Yep, yeah. It's tough, man. I had to learn, and I'm still learning. Like when I take my time off, I'm off, but I still work. But I don't get down or angry if I have to give a customer up because I'm out of town and they don't want to wait. It is what it is.
Yeah.
To me, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant strictly for me. Now, I still do get paid on half of it. But,
yeah, as like a referral or whatever.
Correct.
But, yeah.
Half is better than nothing, but
you also, I'm sure your client also appreciates it because they're like, thank you for
just making sure I got taken care of while you were away.
Yeah.
Sure. And some of my clients, I'm thankful. Some of my clients will wait for me. It's like, Nate, I don't care. I'll wait. If the car's going, I'll order one. I have a good amount of that type of client that I'm thankful for, but it's a car. They don't buy cars every year or every month. So, you know what I mean? I got a rolling 30 to 36 month average on swapping my customers out that'll say, hey, Nate, it's cool. I'll just deal with you. Or I'll have to force them to say, hey, no, I'm not getting this car again. I'm not getting another allocation to order you one. I'll get taken care of. Just go get the car now.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways, but it's different. It's a lot different than what people on the outside presume it to be.
Yeah, it's I think in any industry when you're commission based 100% and there's no base pay or draw or whatever, people don't understand, and you eat what you kill, and you have to go out there, and that's what I think kind of starts to separate the top dogs. And it's not the top dogs because it's like, hey, they've just been doing this so long. It's a lot of times it's because they're the ones that are willing to kill themselves and like 24/7 client first approach always, which I've obviously had experience with you always, and that's the difference between that. And then other people are like, like we were saying, I'm at dinner and I'll call tomorrow because I'm done. I turn my cell phone, my work phone off at 6 o'clock. Yeah, and when I walk out, nah. You have to be available always.
Cause somebody told me to get 2 phones and just leave the work phone at home. Nah, that's not me.
I can't.
I can't do that. I can't do that. And we'll be on the trip. She'll be like, seriously? I'll be like, look.
It's a client.
Look around.
Yeah, if you want to keep doing this,
look around.
I got to do that to pay for this.
Hey, it's a quick email, it's a quick text message, it's a quick phone call, and some of it she thinks doesn't make sense, and sometimes I'll be like, well, that could have waited. But if they call me and I pick up the phone, that it gives them that much more reassurance, and it makes them feel that much more thankful and comfortable. And that me picking up a phone call for a 30-second answer could turn into a referral.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. And when you're away, obviously I do a lot of travel overseas, and when I have two numbers on my same phone. So one rings P for personal, one rings B for business. When B rings, I always answer. And when I'm like, hey, I'm really sorry, right now I happen to be in Ireland or Scotland or wherever, but this is one of the advantages of doing what I'm doing. Let's chat. Because normally one of the first things is, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I'll call you. I'm like, no, let's talk. And there's like this even increased level of appreciation.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I can't believe this guy is willing to talk to me when they're on vacation time
or doing whatever, because it makes a difference. Like, hey Nate, did I catch you at work? No, I'm not at work.
No, but it's okay. Okay.
Yeah, what do you need? No, I'm gonna call you back. No, I'm on the phone now. I answered for a reason.
Yeah.
What do you need?
I think I've done that to you before.
Yeah, it's cool.
I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry after, and you're like, this is what we do.
If I respond, I got time, and when I respond is when I have time. I don't mind responding to the customer, because when you're purchasing an investment or I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do my best to follow through with that. So if I say, hey, call me if you need something, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you have a question about something, call me. If I don't answer, text me.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, hey, sometimes it's easier to text me if I don't answer when you call me, because I may be with a customer, but I can pick up the phone and shoot a text back quicker than I can pick up the phone and have a 3-minute conversation.
Yeah. Totally.
So if you can text me. I'm okay with that. It's just, it's a different animal, and it's funny because being in it for as long as I've been in it now, which it doesn't even seem like that long. May will be 9 years.
That's long.
Yeah,
that's long to be in the car
business. Yeah, that's what everybody keeps saying. But it seems like
it's
it
a
went by quick.
high turnover, because I think it's hard, or people don't want to be bothered in the time off. So kudos to you.
People think it's easy. And I've seen 30 plus coworkers come and go.
Sure.
Easily 30 plus coworkers come and go.
Is there anyone there besides management that's been there as long as you, or?
In the sales side, there's one person that's been there. I believe he came a year after me. So he'll be coming up on 8 in May, and I'll be in 9.
Wow.
But other than me and him, I don't think nobody has more than 4 years.
It's a tough industry, especially when
it is.
Yeah, and 9 years means that you've gone through the ups and down markets, which is a difference, and that's
it's a huge difference. And I'm on a lot of car pages on Facebook and car sales groups and things, and you see the people flanking out now and bowing out and complaining. It's because they got in around 2021.
When it was easy for everybody.
2020, 2021.
Yep.
Late after COVID, and then they rode the wave until 2023, and it started to ease up, and now it's going back to what it was pre-COVID, which you got to hustle. Because during COVID, I had to fight my coworkers to be able to sell the car. It was kind of who can get the customer here first.
Sure, yeah.
That was the hardest part.
Yep.
That was literally the hardest part. Who can get the customer here first? That's who's going to sell the car, because it wasn't the fact of the pricing or the car, because the customer knew, hey, look, I got this coming in. You want to buy it now, as far as put a deposit, put your credit app in if you're going to lease it or finance it, and when the car comes in, it's yours. Or if you have to see it and drive it first. If you're the have to see it and drive it first customer, that's fine. Fair warning.
Might not be here when
you get here.
It's crazy you say that, because it's very similar in this industry. I mean, I'd have people coming down from New Jersey, and I'd have to call them halfway through and be like, "Hey, just turn around. It's on their contract." Like, I can't tell you how many times I had that phone call. So during that 2020, 2021, edging into 2022, we had the number of sight unseen people buying homes never touched a doorknob. It was insane. I had a really hard time, dealing with it, personally, because
it's huge investment.
Well, I'm here to advise my clients, and I'm telling them, they're like, should I do it without seeing it? And I'm like, well, if you want it, yeah,
there's no choice.
But do Do you want it that bad? But what else? What's the other option? We're going to find another house, and the same thing's going to happen with that one.
Right, or you got to come down here and stay down here for a week
And just be ready to rock and roll.
Be ready to jump out of the hotel and come see the house. But for the people that I'm sure, just like myself, the people that you were dealing with that wanted to move, wanted to buy a house, they're in the positions they're in because of work. So it's probably not always that easy.
Yeah. So it's all these sight unseens, and that's honestly where the new construction was actually good for people, because they could take it, like, just come down, find the floor plan and the home site and kind of make it work. Whereas in your industry, that would be like building the car, and that wasn't happening because you had supply shortages of everything. So it was mainly like used cars, and like that was it. So I don't know, man. I commend you for making it through those hard times.
It was different, and as we talked before, and I talk with a lot of realtors. It's because I was looking around, and I'm like, how do you do it? You're not the only realtor showing this house.
Yep.
You're not the only realtor sending it to a customer. And like you said, you're calling people and telling them to turn around because somebody, unbeknownst to you, already put a contract on it.
Yep.
That's insane. Insane.
And you put offers in with like time constraints. Like, we need an answer within like the next 4 hours.
Right. Just to get outbid by $50,000. You put an offer in for $25,000 over.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And then you get outbid by 50 more grand, and it's like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah, I think it's, while yes, it's a harder, it was hard in its own way during those time periods for both industries. But I like that it's kind of evening out. I'm sure, just like how you had salespeople that were riding the wave and they're like, this is so easy, and they didn't build their foundation of client reputation, business model for them personally, building their own personal brand, like. Yes, you're Nate and you work for IG Burton, but you're Nate. And if you went and worked for a different BMW dealership, I get the same product at both places. Correct. So I would still call it Nate. So there's something to be said about, obviously the fact that IG Burton supports what you're doing and you support them, and it's a good relationship. But you built that foundation for your personal business and, to be able to provide for your family. And the ones that didn't, the same thing on this side. We had plenty of agents that came in got their license during 2020, 2021, and and everyone was selling a house of some sorts. And now it's difficult. And if you didn't build that foundation, it's kind of hard, and you have to.
Correct, because at the end of the day, I can call whoever I want to buy that house. Why should I call you?
Yeah,
and that's the biggest thing. And it's the same thing with the car. I can go buy a car online and never leave my house.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy too.
It's crazy.
But you know what I mean? I got customers that continuously call me. Hey, Nate, I need a Chevy. Hey, Nate, I know you guys don't have a Toyota, but can you get me a Toyota? You know what I mean? Well, by the way, we got a Toyota dealer now too. But I sell a BMW. Customers call me for everything, any car they need, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
because now I'm their car guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I do my best to source them that vehicle. Partner with one of my coworkers at another brand within IG Burton that are 100% thorough in that brand, so they still get the same treatment that they're used to. And I just make sure they get taken care of, and they appreciate it. And even though said person sold them that Chevy, guess who they call when they want another Chevy, or they have a question about something else? They still call me.
Well, it was like when we got my wife, her SUV, and we came in to look at yours, and then she was like, "Well, what about?" Because we had the Mercedes, and so we went over and drove, and you set us up with someone over at Mercedes, and we got to do literally a back to back, which is super cool. And are you guys the only dealership in the country that does BMW and Mercedes under the same roof?
I honestly don't know.
I've never seen.
I don't know the answer to that.
Like literally competing brands under the same roof.
Yeah,
because you guys.
It makes sense for the owner, though.
Yeah,
it makes sense for the owner.
You're like, you walk in, you got both options that are right there, and it's. We got to literally driving back to back, and we found that the BMW was better and it fit her styles and what she was looking for. It was a better fit, but it was cool. But but I went to you and you hooked us up with someone else.
And I'll tell you what, with one thing that I've learned with having them next to each other, it makes you make sure you're thorough.
Yeah,
because somebody next door can be a little bit more thorough than you were. You may have the superior car,
Yep.
but somebody else was superior in explaining or showing their vehicle off better than you, and you'll feel that the customer bought a lesser car. Both cars are very nice.
Yeah.
But in your perspective, obviously, if you work for a brand, you should believe in that brand. So I'm always going to feel that BMW is a more superior brand than any brand. But if you're not thorough and somebody else is over there that's thorough, you're going to lose a lot. And sometimes the customer may be losing because they didn't get the full experience on BMW side to give the full explanation of everything that they can do with the car and what the car can do for them. But they got it on the Mercedes side, so they opted to get the Mercedes, but didn't realize that the BMW could do the same thing. But when you had your shot, you didn't show that. So you don't get your back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Well, that's where having 9 years experience kind of comes into it for sure.
And it helps. And I got my partner, my buddy over there that I kind of, same person I hooked you up with. I call him my battle buddy. He's sharp over there. So he keeps me sharp. He keeps me sharp because if I'm dealing with a client, I don't want to purposely give them a lesser experience because I believe in my ability and the car's ability. So I want them to get the same experience at Mercedes.
He was great.
Let them pick what they want, what fits
He was very good and everything. And we just, the BMW is just a better fit for sure. And everyone has their opinion, and everyone has their perspective of what it is that they're looking for. And, obviously you and I are going to say that BMW is a superior car. I had two Mercedes and then I made the changeover. But speaking about the BMW being superior, I did have some vehicle specific questions. First of all, where are you guys in your, or maybe more you personally, I don't know, like resale, or I say resale, as real estate, used cars to new cars. Like what is probably you guys' percentage if someone walks in?
As far as retail?
In sales, yeah.
We're probably about 60-40 most months, 65.
Okay.
To the new side.
Yeah, to the new side.
To the new side.
Yeah. Is that because there's still just not enough supply on the used side, or is it just the way it works out?
It's just the way it works out, and it's been shifting more because when we had less new cars, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get new cars, so all I had to sell was used, so I had to sell from the shelf I had.
Sure.
But as I said, that like I got what people want, I don't have because I'm selling them so quick. Like X3s, if I had 5 X3s used on the lot, I'd sell all 5 of them this month.
Wow,
no question.
Wow,
no question.
That's a great car, but
yeah, exactly. It's our number one selling car throughout the brand.
Yeah.
We have a lot of sedans, which I've seen a huge trend away. Which the 3 Series was BMW's number one selling car for years. Now it's the X3. More are trending towards the SUVs than the sedans, just because the drivability is the same. But you get a little bit more space and utilitarian out of it as far as the hatch trunk and a little bit more space, but you still get that sporty drive and feel.
It does drive. It drives flat.
Yep. So you don't feel
so impressive.
SUV-ish.
Yeah.
So people are... Well, I'm selling a lot more SUVs. Like last month, I sold 15 cars.
Wow.
I think I sold 1 new sedan. No, sorry. 2 new sedans personally. Everything else was new SUVs. New SUVs. New SUVs, I sold a used sedan and then used SUVs as well.
Wow.
So we sell a lot of SUVs.
But how are things been going? I know that you had the I-Line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you still have it. Still have the I-Line. Mm-hmm. How has that been? Obviously, there's been a big push on the electric side and hybrid and full and whatever. And BMW has always been this ultimate driving machine, which I think a lot of like enthusiasts look at. A gas powered engine is more like enthusiast. But, there's plenty of people that want a BMW that are not, driving people. They just want a nice car that's drives nice and has a good warranty, and maybe has better efficiencies with electric. So I'm assuming that's where that I line comes in. How has that been doing?
So it's going. It's not going as I'd say the government had expected.
Sure.
Per se, based upon the way they're pushing it, and it has nothing to do with brand, vehicle styling, or anything. It's the infrastructure. People are understanding and realizing it, and then I'm going to say it just based upon this area.
Sure, yeah.
Just
We don't know what
because,
it's like in
this is where I'm selling at,
California or
correct.
whatever.
This is where I'm selling at. This is my area. The infrastructure is not there for charging, because, I mean, there's a huge gap in available chargers from, say, here to Christiana. And now, it's not a far drive either. So if you charge at home, but for the people that don't have charging at home, or they didn't charge that night, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Now, for BMW as a brand, we have. I mean, I just drove one yesterday. I sold one of the sedan I sold last month was one. They're fun. I don't know
electric.
If I don't know if you've driven an all electric car yet.
I've never driven an all. I've had a loaner hybrid, like a 530 hybrid thing.
And that was just, it wasn't even a plug-in, right? It was a 48-volt hybrid, or was it a plug-in?
I could plug it in.
It was a plug-in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it just for fun, because I'd never done it before, but it wasn't like, I don't.
Nah, that's not the same feel. This all electrics, that instant torque. It's a fun car.
Is it?
To drive.
What was it?
What I sold was an i4.
Oh, okay.
So we got an i4 35. We got a 40, both rear-wheel drive, and then we got a 40 that's all-wheel drive, and then an M50 that has a ton more power. It's
that's a cool-looking car.
Fun, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's in the frozen Port Mile Blue. It is a very, very good looking car, and it looks just like the gas model. You couldn't tell the difference, but
is the I like a little bit higher off the ground? Like, I know, like the i7 I looked at seemed to be.
That's got air suspension.
Oh, that may be why.
Yeah,
I was looking at the i7 for
big battery in the back.
True.
Yeah, I sold a couple of those too.
That's a cool looking car.
I sold several.
I was like unsure about the front end at first, and it's growing on me.
I'll tell you what, you want to drive in a cloud.
Is it?
That it's I took and drove. I sold one to a gentleman that lives out by what is that? Donny Park.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, up in like Harrisburg area.
Yep, and I took and drove it out there.
Did
An
you?
electric one. Fantastic drive.
Really?
They're fun. I've sold 2, 3, 4 of them.
I don't know. I mean,
a lot of car.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
I'm just trying to figure out. I guess it all depends on what your goal is in a car. Like we're enthusiasts. I like to hear exhaust.
Correct.
I like to feel shifting of gears and all of that. And that's not what electric is, but electric absolutely has the sport side of it.
Correct. Oh, you're going to have the look. You're going to have
the
fun.
sound and all that.
Correct. And the biggest thing is, which I'm pretty sure you know, on the building side things, they're making it cold now to put 240 into the garages of some of these new builds. I think starts next year, or is it this year or next year? I think it's next year.
I know it's not this year. It's just offered. Yeah.
Yes, so they're just offering it. Now it's going to be like a requirement for builders to put a plug into the garage, which is huge, not for anybody buying the car, but because it's not that much to get the plug put in.
Sure.
But the thing about it is a lot of this needs to be set up with people that drive electrics that have charging capabilities at home.
It'll take out that I really want to do an electric car, but then what's the other parts I have to do? I have to get the charger, and I got to have an electrician come out, and it's like a process. So if it's there, it's like, oh, it's easier. It's already
Correct. I already got the plug.
Yeah.
And then for us as a manufacturer, we actually give you the charger with the vehicle.
Oh, that's cool.
Some other manufacturers do not give you that 240 charger that you need to charge your car.
Can you? Here's your car. Have fun getting home. Then it won't work.
Go buy a charger for it. Go spend another $500 to $1,500 to buy the charger. Then get it installed. I give you a charger. So if you do have a cost, it's only to get the plug installed, but you have a charger because on ours, most of our cars takes about 10 to 12 hours to charge from to 80%. Because you're only supposed to charge the cars up to 80% unless you're going on a long distance trip where you're going to need all of what you have mileage wise. Then you can charge it up to 100% because the last 20% takes the longest to charge the car. And the more you do that, the more you wear down on the battery because it's kind of just force feeding that current into the battery and storing it. You'll see that you get a quicker charge up to 80%. And then you have fast chargers, which we would do well with them down here and in the Milford, Dover area. That'll charge a car from 10 to 80% in about 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. Is that so? And so because I like I said, I know minimal about this stuff. When I go to Wawa and there's a Tesla charging station there, can anything charge there or just Teslas?
Not yet.
Not yet. So that's just Tesla?
That's just Tesla, but they did work out a thing with Elon and Tesla to open those up to all automobiles because Tesla specifically made their chargers different from other EVs. So now they're supposed to be like adapters or Teslas when they're putting up new Tesla chargers at other gas stations, they're coming with the universal charger.
So it's more that it just doesn't fit. It doesn't plug in. Okay.
Correct. And that's why you see a lot of Teslas because one of my coworkers at the Chevy store just got a Tesla and he said they gave him like 10,000 free charging miles. And when he goes to the Tesla charger, when he plugs it in, it reads his VIN.
Oh, when they
plugging it in. So there's just a lot of technology in these cars, which BMW just adapted as well, charging structure where you can plug and charge.
Oh, cool.
So you plug it in and it reads your VIN and it charges. BMW gives you, depending on the vehicle you buy, either 2 or 3 years free charging, 30-minute charging at Electrify America. So if there's Electrify America chargers in the area, you can charge for free.
Do we have any of those down here?
Not down here. Not down here.
Where's the closest one?
They're up north. Closest one is up north, yeah. But the and that's again the thing with the infrastructure.
Part of it, yeah.
Yep, part of the thing because the outlets have chargers, but they're a different brand. You got Charge Point, you got Charge Now, Electrify America. Shell Recharge is something new that BMW's got into. That's like with the Shell gas stations. There's a ton of different chargers, and to me, it just needs to be minimized to maybe 1 or 2 subscriptions or 1 or 2 accounts. Because I don't want to have a phone full of charging apps where I got 12 apps and 12 accounts and a credit card linked to 12 accounts, so I'm prepared anywhere I go.
Yeah.
But I've been told some of them you can't just tap your credit card and pay right there as well.
Now, is Tesla's the only one that doesn't fit? All the other ones are like kind of universal?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not like, back in the day when they first made cars and every gas station had their own shaped pump. So it's only like they're all like typically the same except for Tesla, and Tesla's talking about.
Oh yeah, no, they're not talking about. They made a deal with the government
to be universal,
which I think was in the tune of saving him a lot of money in taxes. Yeah. I mean, he's smart.
I'm sure. Yeah,
very, very
I was going to say he is. He did kind of open source a lot of his stuff, but there's always
very, very smart guy. And I mean, I commend him on because he did it purposely. I guess the whole time he had a plan in mind.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah, and his infrastructure was great until the winter when all of those cars died from freezing, from being too cold to charge, because there's you got to precondition at low temperature. You precondition the battery to accept the charge faster. When you're like if you're driving to a charge station, you should precondition the battery to allow it to accept the charge properly, or it'll charge a lot slower. So there's a lot of things to go with that as well. And if you go to a charging station where there's 4 chargers, don't go park next to the car that's on a charger. go park a charger over.
Because you're kind of like sharing bandwidth, almost like
Yep,
electrical
that's exactly
bandwidth.
what happens. It slows down that person's charge, and then you get a slower charge. But if you go to the one on the opposite side,
You'd be on a different leg, getting full voltage.
correct, both of you guys
Oh.
keep the same.
Look at that. See,
Yeah.
good tip.
Yeah, it's kind of like the men's urinal etiquette. Don't come park next to me if there's another one available.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's fun, and thinking, and I had never would have thought that. Now I know that if I was sitting there and someone pulled up and be like, "Are you serious?
Exactly.
Seriously? Can you just go over one?"
And then you see the lines at the superchargers or the fast chargers. I call them superchargers, but
Yeah.
the fast chargers. You see the lines, and then you see people getting angry, like, "Hey, man, get off! I gotta go!" Like, it's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
It's come a long way. I think it still has a long way to go. Obviously, you can pull into a gas station. I mean, there's lines for gas.
Correct.
And
Correct.
that takes
5-7 minutes.
Yeah.
That's 7 minutes after walking into Wawa and getting a drink.
and that gets you 400 miles of
minimum.
petrol, and you can
Yep.
stop at a million other gas stations on your trip that you can stop at. So obviously there's a whole lot, kind of your point, the infrastructure side of it, but and I don't know, I'm just again, I like the sound of a gas engine feeling
same.
shifting, but there's also there's just this whole the longevity aspect of it, and we'll see. That's just kind of like time will tell, as far as batteries and the warranty and how long do they last and all of that. And obviously BMW, I'm sure, is cutting edge with everything, which is why and I don't know, and I don't want Tesla people to send me texts and emails and hating me, but there's just something about when you get into a BMW.
I've had Tesla people tell me that. I've traded.
It's the soul of the car.
I've traded Tesla people, obviously, because Tesla's was one of the huge outbreaks in the electric world.
Sure.
And then when BMW started coming out, because the want was crazy when we first released these. I mean, I had waiting lists for every model.
Wow.
I had a waiting list for every model. But when several people had Teslas come and test drive them or actually order them or buy them. The biggest thing I've been told and so many times, the fit, the feel, the finish, and the drivability of this car is far, far, far more superior than Tesla. Tesla still has more technology capabilities,
the gadgety stuff, which is cool.
Company. It's a tech company.
Yeah,
BMW is a car driver,
but
it's a driver's company.
It's really hard to take a company that's been building cars for when was BMW founded? I mean, not the aircraft motor side of thing, but
they've been for
and like been just building
years.
Amazing, well-engineered German cars for decades and decades and decades versus, I don't want to say a startup, but I mean, Tesla's been, what's the oldest Tesla you can get? 10 years?
10 years, I think.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's 10 years, but
yeah.
I mean, you also got to remember our sister company, Rolls-Royce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's, you talking about $600,000 cars.
Yeah.
That we share technology with. Obviously, people are buying those and they're worth it, and that's where we're getting some of the technology from, like the 7 Series with the push button closed doors and that type of stuff.
It's so awesome. That's so cool.
That's in the Rolls Royce, but in the thick of it, the Tesla does have technology and some of the driver features. Like one of my customers, when we were test driving, she was like, "Oh my God, the car didn't stop for me." And I was like, "Are you hitting the brake?" And she was like, "No." I was like, "Well, that would be
step
pedal. Number one."
Push the brake pedal.
Hit the brake. And she was like, "Well, my Tesla stops at stop signs for me." And I was like, "What?" So I've driven a Tesla.
I've never been in one.
And she was like, "Yeah, my Tesla stops at stop signs." I was like, "Are you not capable of stopping at stop signs?"
BMW puts a pedal there so that you can do it yourself.
And I was like, "Well, that's pretty awesome. I've never heard of that, but we're a driver's car, so
yeah,
you're either gonna have to use the one pedal driving, which, and just like Tesla, a lot of people are used to it. You take your foot off the gas, it's kind of like a golf cart. The car automatically starts slowing down, and it'll stop you. Or you're gonna have to hit the brake, and that was the first time I've heard that and she was like adamant about their driving feature, and if they have the autopilot on, it'll stop at the stop sign, stop at stoplights, and I'm like, that's pretty dope. But
But
BMW doesn't want to take that control away
I
from
was
the
going to
driver.
say, my goodness, and just the willingness to.
I mean, you see the stuff on the highways where these Teslas got in accidents or the driver's in the back seat because autopilot's on. That's nuts.
I'm climbing it back and taking that.
Yeah, I would never want to do that. We've got some new self-driving features that I personally used on the X7. Took it to Florida, hands-free up to 85 miles an hour.
So mine has it. The problem is you have to like keep like every 30 seconds.
So
you gotta put your hand
yours
on the
has
wheel.
a 30 seconds. The new technology is complete hands-free up to 85
That
miles
would
an
be
hour.
awesome because it works
On certain highways,
Yeah,
though.
it works extremely well.
Oh, yeah,
it
on
does.
on
I mean, even the
certain
cameras.
highways.
I mean, obviously, when there's like a break for like a left turn, it gets like all of a sudden like a little bit like what's
little
going on
shaky.
here. But I mean, you're going around the turn, and I always do it with the kids, and I like look, no hands, and it's like going around the turn, and they're like freaking out. But it does,
Yep.
it just keeps you right on. It goes right through.
I drove, I'd say 80% of my drive down 95, no hands. I just want to try it. Make sure. I mean, that's the thing. That's why one of us gets a new car every year, because new technology is out.
Yeah, you gotta
There's
know it,
no better
experience
way
it. Yeah.
to explain it to a customer than having your own experience with these vehicles. And again, SUVs are hot.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting. She gets an SUV every year, just about X7.
I was gonna say, so talking about SUVs, we were actually having some chats earlier about the X7, and I think that not a lot of people, maybe the business owners do, but I don't know. I mean, I didn't know this, and to all my fellow realtor friends out there, if you get a vehicle that's over 6,000 pounds, there's like massive tax incentives for you, which you should lean on your accountant about. But like, yeah, there's like way more write-off capabilities.
Correct.
And the only one would be the X7 from an SUV standpoint.
X5, X6, X7.
X5 is too?
X5, X6, X7, 6,000 pounds.
Really?
Yep. So X5, X6, X7. We always see an influx in traffic on those come November, December.
Right before the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, we sell them a lot already.
Yeah.
But November, December is when it ramps up. And
I didn't know. I thought only the X7. So the X5 is also over 6,000 pounds?
So, gross vehicle weight.
Wow.
Yeah, gross vehicle weight.
Yeah, that's huge. So I'm assuming that's probably why like a lot of business owners,
Yeah.
whether you're an agent or you own a shop or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, wife needs a new car. Need a new business vehicle.
It's like just a
sense.
massive tax savings. Like just it's crazy. I thought I would have probably gone X5.
Yeah, I mean,
Before.
I would. Yeah, definitely consult your accountant on exactly how you can do it.
And used versus new as well.
Used
and all
versus new. I do know you can't depreciate it the way that'll be most beneficial to some people. Again, that's going to be based upon your accounting. But leasing is supposed to be not the best way from what my accounting told me that. You get better benefits if you either buy it or finance it, pay cash or finance it. It's all preference.
Yeah, and then obviously not that if you are a W-2 employee somewhere and people still like X7s and X5s, but it lends itself more so to business owners.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, more so to business owners in that write-off segment. That again.
Yeah,
the accountant will handle that for you, but there are huge benefits.
I think a lot of people don't know that.
No, it's huge. It's huge, and a lot of we push it to our customers, but a lot of customers do know. But the X5, X6, X7 for sure qualify, and the XM, which is the new big boy. That's
What's that? I don't know what the XM is.
Gas and electric powerhouse.
Ooh.
Yes.
Dude, their lines are getting like edgy.
Oh yeah, it's aggressive. The grill lights up. Those skinny headlights. will demand attention driving down the road. You see one, you know it's that car.
So is it hybrid, kind of like how like a Porsche 917 is? It's not like a Prius to where it's electric or gas. Is it like gas and electric at the same time, kind of assist type of thing?
It's yes.
It's performance based. Like
It's performance based, so that instantaneous torque from the electric motor shoots you off the line.
Sure.
I mean, if you want to drive normal, you can drive in all electric about 30 miles and all electric. So around town in Lewis and Rehoboth, you can be driving on all electric based upon the traffic that's going to be upon us here soon.
Sure.
Be driving on all electric until you run out of it. But then also, if you come to the line with something and you just want to shoot light the light, you got that gas motor. That label red you're looking at right there.
I did just see one of these not too long ago.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't mess with it.
We got a white one floating around that I've driven a couple times.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that interior.
Yeah, that's the label red. That one's over 700 foot-pounds of torque.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
But see, that's the difference, for me, and granted, everyone's different what they're looking for, but that's like what I find the difference is like from Tesla to BMW.
Oh, yeah, the craftsmanship, the interiors, the designs.
Start looking at body lines and how tight the tolerances are, and then when you get inside and that door thud, kind of,
yeah, exactly. It's the weight.
Yeah, it's engineered from the ground up. It's really done. Yeah, the 5 Series is.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say, the new 5 Series, you can't tell if it's gas or electric. By the wheels, you can, if you know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I like about the electric cars that we're making now. They look like regular cars.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
A lot of them look like regular cars.
Yeah, here's
aside from the iX. The iX is an electric car. That's SUV. But the 5 Series and the 4 Series and the 7 Series look just like the gas models.
Yeah. What I did want to talk a little bit about what you have going on. You obviously at the BMW dealership year over year, you've always had these big coffee and cars events there, car shows on some weekends and bringing people down. You said people come from New York and New Jersey to check stuff out, which is cool. But then you also have your own shows, car shows that you go on, which I didn't know about is really for an awesome cause, which you're donating a lot of money to a good cause, which is nice. So. Modded Familia,
yes,
is what it's called.
That is a car club that me, my brother, and my 2 best friends started essentially last year. We're about 23 members strong, and you'll see the Real Housewives of Modded Familia and the next gen Modded Familia are for the kids as well. But
cool.
Yeah, we it's really in the name, Modded Familia. It's modded family. Pretty much, we're a family group. We do things with our families. Families come to all of the car shows that are whatever family's available. Kids, wives. My dad goes to a lot of them as well. But we just are very, very into the community, the car community. We've all been around cars all of our lives, and we decided to make a car club that represents what we all stand for. And that's just having fun with our vehicles and being in the car community and also being in the community in general. To do stuff. Like there was a Toys for Tots that one of my buddies that's in the automobile industry puts on up at Christiana, and then we bring the toys to AI DuPont.
Oh, that's awesome.
Entire car club donated. The founders donated, and then we all brought the cars up to Christiana. Cars with the toys up to Christiana to donate so they can bring them to AI DuPont. So all of the kids that were in the hospitals this year couldn't go home, had a ton of toys.
That's awesome.
We love to be a part of that. We did trunk or treat at Hudson Fields. We all brought our cars out,
oh, cool.
Decorated the cars for the kids, and gave out couple $100 worth of candy. The line was insane for the amount of kids that came
So
out
it was
there.
so you guys were doing the trunks and kids just came in and just walked around. That's cool.
That's
pretty
they
cool.
put it on at Hudson Fields. You go in, you decorate your trunk, and you line up inside the field, and then the kids just line up and go car to car and get candy. It's an awesome event for the kids and for the parents. Being a parent myself, luckily my kid doesn't eat candy, but as a kid, I wanted to go trick or treating, but it had to strictly be certain areas and certain streets where my parents knew the people and we knew everybody, because unfortunately, the world we live in today, you never know what people are going to do to candy and things for kids. So it's huge for kids to be able to come out. One, a lot of kids love cars.
Yeah.
So they get to see the cool cars, trucks, and different things that people bring out. And then they also get some candy that the parents know
it's kind of like vetted.
It's safe. Correct. Correct. So it was a huge event. I love doing it. I love seeing the kids' costumes and, you know what I mean, just being a part of the community. But then we also are teamed up with Rally for the First Responders.
Yeah, that was, and I just noticed a pop up.
Yep, registration for the Rally for First Responders car show on June 1st at Hudson Fields. Lineup is at 10 a.m. Show starts from 12 to 4. It will be trophies given out at the show as well. We did this show in October. It was our first show, our first modded familiar car show, and we sold the parking lot.
Wow.
So we had
at Hudson?
No, not at Hudson, but at their spot in Georgetown. At Revelations in Georgetown.
Yeah.
We had to turn cars away. It was an extremely, extremely successful turnout. And we're hoping to do it again, but just in a bigger space on June 1st, and then we have another one in July as well.
And that one was more than just a car show, because you actually took some proceeds and helped.
Yes, we donated $7,000 to Rally for the First Responders, who then divvied it out to our local agencies as far as police and fire departments, just to help with them. So awesome. Again, it's for the community, it's for a good cause. So the proceeds that we got, we gave right back out. We did have a lot of local businesses also donate to us to help allow us to donate that type of money to them. So shout out to a lot of the local businesses that helped and believed in what we have going on for our first show.
Well, I was going to say, for a great show, and obviously for the first responders, which are, obviously super brave people that, put their lives on the line all the time, whether it's for protecting or putting out fires or whatever it might be. So it's cool that they're doing that, and it's awesome that you guys are. Who are some of your sponsors that did that?
I had one of my customers, CRS Hoods, that's in Smyrna. I had Shagrin Gas, IG Burton. I had Sharp, and he's well drilling.
Oh yeah,
Yep. Sharp, Josh Sharp, he donated. We had a couple doctor's offices. My buddy Paul works at a doctor's office. Dr. Gallagher in Ocean View, she donated to us as well. We had a couple. One of my guys, Jim, his wife, I believe is T's Hair Salon.
Okay.
She donated. We had a couple restaurants donate. We had a very, very good support system for our first show, and a lot of that was solely based upon the people in the community knowing who the four founders are and what we've always stood for and been around, and trusting us. And they came out. Also, one of my businesses donated as well. Our security company donated, and then it came with free tickets for the people that donated. Names on the back of the shirts that we gave out and sold as well at the show. So it
So did you have open sponsorship now for this next event, or are you filled with sponsors?
So we do have some available sponsorships you can acquire online if you do want to sponsor, and then we will put, once this show kicks off, we will put and start promoting our other show for October, where there's all open sponsorships for anybody, any companies, any business that want to be a part of it. We'll have different levels again of sponsorships and what comes along with the sponsorships, and what you get as well.
Yeah, I think that's key, because it's one thing, if you have sponsorship for a show, and it's used as a way to get your brand out in front of all the attendants. Then you have sponsorship for a show, to where the show is taking the money and then donating it to something that matters.
Correct.
It's two very different pictures. One is like selling advertising space. Basically, you promote a show to make revenue, and one is you put all your time, hard work, energy, and everything into generating revenue that you're going to give to people that help keep us safe.
Oh, absolutely.
It's very big. So, I really want to make sure that for people that are watching this, they understand the difference, because it's huge that what you guys are doing. And I think that for people that are business owners out there, they should definitely be reaching out for sponsorships. And I'm assuming you guys probably just also accept donations if someone wanted to donate to go through to the rally for first responders as well.
If they want to donate, and we'll give it to them. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that the money was spent on is like trophies, door prizes. We had raffles. We gave away car wash details, nails, spa days, speakers, stereo equipment, free installs from different. So we did a lot of stuff with it. Pay for the trophies, like I said, the shirts, all of that stuff. And then also some of the money that was left over is what we spent on the trunk or treat, and also for the donation for the toys for AI DuPont.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, as you know, my daughter is type 1 diabetic, and we go to AI a lot for all of her doctors. I mean, one thing that she always says, I mean, it's a hard thing to deal with every day, dealing with type 1 diabetes. And when she gets there and she's, things are put into perspective a little bit different. And she's like, as bad as I think I have it, there are some kids, and it's, to think about on like the biggest day, biggest kid day, Christmas, that they're sitting in a hospital, and yes, I'm sure their families come to see them and all, but for you guys to do that, that's huge. That's really an awesome thing.
It's something huge to be a part of. That we're very grateful, because again, we all have kids too, so we understand. We definitely understand. So it's huge to be a part of that. And then shout out to my guy, Mike Bellina, that actually puts that on and organizes everything, to the setup at the Christiana Hospital, to the police escort to AI DuPont.
Oh, that's cool.
So not only do you bring the toys there, they load them up in a truck, but there's a police escort that takes a caravan of cars to the AI DuPont Hospital display the cars for the kids to kind of look out the window, and then we take and put all of the toys under the big Christmas tree that they have inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's huge. It's a very nice event to be a part of.
Like honestly, it's one of those
very nice event to be a part of, man.
I can only imagine like all of that. It's really cool.
And all my guys for the car club showed up, donated toys. If they couldn't come that day, they donated toys or sent money to buy toys.
Now the car shows, are they just like German exotics, or also hot
everything.
Rods, or
everything?
So for everyone that's out there that's watching, if you're down here and you've got an old 60s hot rod or a 34 Ford, or an M5,
love them all. Yeah, we love them all. We don't turn anything away. Cars, bikes, trucks, Jeeps, everything. Old school, new school. You got a car, we want to see it.
That's awesome.
Yep, you got a car, we want to see it out there. The kids love to see everything. We even got a kids' choice pick for the cars as well, because we try to make sure the kids in the community get into it, because it's huge.
It's like a separate trophy, like for the
awesome. Kids' choice. Because for us, I mean, all of us growing up, the four members again, my brother D, best friend Paul, and my best friend Enrique, we've been into cars, and a lot of that's helped us stay focused,
Sure,
keep out of trouble. So, with everything that's going on in the world, if we can draw a couple more kids to being on a straight and narrow and kind of looking at it like, hey, I can't wait till I get something like that, or hey, can I sit in your car? Hey, can I start your car? Absolutely.
That's
Hop
awesome.
in, buddy. Start the car. Talk to them about it. The smile on their face is kind of what pays for all that we put into our cars, the work we put into our cars during the off season and driving to these shows or organizing these shows. To see how much the kids enjoy it is what we really want, and that's why it's huge for us. And anybody that joins our crew, we're very selective on how you carry yourself with and without the car club.
Well, I've got a client in Peninsula Lakes, and he's got Joe. I'm talking to you. I know you're watching this. He's got lifts in his garage, and he's got Mustangs that go up on the lifts and then Mustangs that go under it.
Yeah,
and
I've heard about him.
Yeah, and he trailered them out to Michigan and had them signed, like the dash
By Shelby.
Yeah, like it's.
I've heard about him. My brother does work in that community. And when he's driven by there and called me, it was like, hey, I just rode by this house, and this guy has his garage open, and I see Mustangs, lifts, and I was like,
"Oh, dude!" It was. He had them parked out in the driveway. He has a 3-car garage, and so he had them parked on an angle the one day. And I sent him a text. And I was like, "Your driveway looks menacing." Like it was just all these like nasty Mustangs.
Yep, my brother's texted me about that and called me about that before.
So mean looking.
It's funny that you know him, because as soon as you said in Peninsula Lakes with Mustangs with lifts, I knew exactly who you were talking about.
Well, he's got his buddy down around the corner. I think he does Dodges. So I mean, there's so many people. I've got a lot of car guy people. So I'm gonna, stay in touch and let me know. Because I'm gonna blast this out all to my clients also, because I've a lot of car guy people. A lot of them are. And everything from, Joe with his Mustangs to, my old neighbor George with the 69 Camaro, and like everything in between. So,
I mean, me personally, I love to see the old cars. I love to see the old cars. I'm huge with the old muscle cars too.
Smell that.
Smell
the fuel.
I smell the fuel.
Here's some big cams, and it's just like,
absolutely.
Well, let me know, please, for sure. And, as this, obviously, we know now this is June 1st for this one, and as October event, I'd love to continue plugging and, come back on to talk about the October event for sure. And then, obviously, anyone that's thinking about buying a BMW, there's only one guy to call, so.
Got that right. Call Nate. IG Burton BMW.
It's my go-to call for sure. And if you're between that BMW Mercedes thing, you should drive them both. If you haven't driven the BMW, trust me, it's definitely one that's worth putting on the list. So
absolutely, and test drives are free.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Thanks, man, for coming on. It's excited to have you back on to talk about more of this stuff in the future. And we'll take it from there.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. It was a great time.
Appreciate you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks again for tuning in to this episode of Who's in the House. If you still have questions, feel free to email us at info@who'sinthehouse, DE as in Delaware.com. You can also call or text any questions to 302-466-5511. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. And in the meantime, keep an eye out for our next episodes. We look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.